J24, community organizer. She went to Platt College, or she probably goes to Platt College, 73 miles away. Says she's not interested in a relationship. Don't want you to take care of me in any way. I want to have a kid, no strings attached, but can't afford artificial insemination. You should be attractive, athletic, intelligent, free of hereditary disease, STI, and drug free. If selected, we will hook up as often as it takes for me to get pregnant. Then you will walk away. No developing feelings and no expectations, to see the child we create. See, when it comes to the female, especially the modern day female of this Babylonian society, their ideals are so off. This is why it's important for us to moderate the woman, but the woman does not want to be moderated, and they don't push, the moderation of the woman, because they let the woman do what she wants, because they know that the woman is an agent of anarchy and an agent of chaos. It just is what it is, and this proves it. You have a woman with these unrealistic ideals for what she wants in regards to getting inseminated by a man, and she doesn't understand that these things can affect the child based off of what she wants for the child. You see, these women, or these modern day females, they look at children as just objects. It's like, I just want to have a kid, like it's just a thing. It's a human being, it's a life, and you have to understand what that life needs. You can't just say, I want to have a kid, I'm gonna raise it on my own. See, due to these females being so mistaught and having an inordinate understanding of what their role is in society, they don't have no understanding of how to raise a child based in what the family union and the family structure is supposed to be. They think that a child can just be raised in a single parent household and they'll still be normal. No, there's a difference between certain children who grow up in single parent households and certain children who grow up with, a man and a woman in the home. And sometimes it's not, a difference, but for the most part there is. And especially when you see like certain mental aspects of people that you hear about who've grown up with single parents, like a Kevin Durant versus a Kobe Bryant, LeBron James versus a Michael Jordan. So her understanding of, what idealism is for a child is so off, just based in what her proclivities are regarding, wanting to get pregnant, looking at the man as just an object. He has to be this, he has to be that. He has to come fully assembled with what she requires from him, not even understanding that 9 times out of 10, the man is not going to be receptive to that, because they're going to look at that as you're just looking at me as a sperm receptacle and not a human being.
A Northeast Ohio couple turned to a sperm bank when they were ready to have a child.
And this is kind of the big talk about story of the day, because they are now suing the operators of the facility for giving them the wrong donation.
I've always wanted a child.
Jennifer Cramblin and her partner Amanda Zinkin look forward to becoming parents. They went to the Midwest Sperm Bank in a Chicago suburb back in 2011, requesting sperm from a white donor with blue eyes.
It was the most amazing feeling to know that I had a child that I was going to be able to raise to call my own.
But that excitement turned to concern when Jennifer, 5 months pregnant, called the facility requesting the same donor sperm so Amanda could get pregnant. The center gave Jennifer the vials of an African-American donor. She says the mix-up happened because the sperm bank keeps handwritten instead of electronic records, which allowed the donor numbers to be misread.
After a moment of panic, of, oh Lord, everything's changing on me so quickly, I knew I had to be strong. I have this child in my stomach.
Jennifer gave birth in 2012 to a beautiful biracial girl named Peyton. But raising Peyton in their predominantly white Uniontown community, Jennifer says, may be challenging.
I want her to feel like she has a place with the people that she has a place with, white, black, Asian, any whoever she feels comfortable around.
Jennifer and her partner are suing, her attorneys demanding change.
I've never seen a case like this in my career.
We want them to change their procedure so it's transparent, and hopefully this will prevent this from ever happening again.
Midwest Sperm Bank apologized, saying, quote, "We are so sorry for the mix-up. We should like to refund the cost of..."
In the beginning of the video, I really meant to say sperm donor, because that's how they look at us. That's how they look at us. Not all of them, just people like her. That's how they look at us. They look at us as sperm donors. They want us to come equipped with what they require and then just kick us to the curb like we not human beings. And then what's more amazing is you have these lesbian couples who want to have children and they know that they can't have a child because they don't have a penis, obviously. So they go to the sperm bank to have a child. And it just speaks to the unconventionality of these relationships. Like lesbianism, all that shit, it just shouldn't be. Because you cannot procreate. There's nothing natural about it. That's how you know that we live in a Luciferian society, because they allow shit like this. Shit like that should not be allowed. Where you have a woman and another woman coming together to have a child. What do they got to do? They got to go to the sperm bank. So in this story right here, it's about two lesbian white women who want to have a child, and they sued the sperm bank because they got their donation back, and it came from a black man. The sperm came from a black man, so they're suing. But that's not even an issue. The real issue is the fact that this unconventional aspect of society is just off. And I always, talk about this. This is not nothing new, but it's just really, really setting in. I guess I'm getting more older and I'm just starting to understand like what side I'm on. This unconventional aspect of this society is off. Just talking about lesbianism and homosexuality and all these different agendas that have to do with LGBTQP, whatever you want to call it. It's all off. And it just shows you that they need outside assistance from, regular conventions in order for them to, sustain. Because it's all a construct. It's all make believe. It's not real. You got a lesbian couple where they want to have a child, but they need sperm. So obviously that whole convention, it shouldn't be. Just think about that. It should not be. What the fuck they gonna do? Come together and play scissors? Like what? This is how you know that it just shouldn't be. Homosexuality, lesbian, it just should not be. Those people need to be on their own island somewhere, because you cause confusion with this type of nonsense. Like, there wouldn't have to be a story like this if they would enact laws from this type of nonsense. So this right here is a very interesting YouTube comment. It just speaks to the usury aspect, especially when it comes to these females with ulterior motives for what they want for their child or, their life, so on and so forth. Just speaking to, these two instances where you have one woman who wants certain aspects of what she requires from a man in regards to her getting pregnant by that man. And part of it is delusional. Part of it is just based in her own false ideals, because she has a misunderstanding of what life is really supposed to be about. So their ideals are just based off of Luciferianism for the most part. You know what I mean? Because without the family structure, like that family union, the man and the woman and the child, that single parent vibration is based in Luciferianism, if you really understand. Not saying that it's a sin to be a single parent, but it's based in Luciferianism, because those tenets, it's pretty much contrary to the righteous aspects of the Heavenly Father and, the commandments, so on and so forth. So that's what I mean when I say that. I'm not saying that it's sinful to raise a child on your own, but just the agendas that's pushed behind that when it comes to, single parent households, especially with the female, is based in Luciferianism, because it takes the man out his understanding of what his role is, and part of that is contrarianism to the righteous aspects of the Most High in society. So that's what I mean when I say that. But this right here is really, really off. It says, I was married to a Jamaican woman, and after her and her daughter get the green card from me, she put roach powder in my food to kill me and tried to take out life insurance on me. Her name is Tanisha Lawrence. It's crazy he even put her name. That's how you know that this was serious. And it just speaks to the usury aspect, the ulterior motive aspect. They don't really want love. They just have ulterior motives. They just want to use you and see what they could get out of you. I deal with it. But when I know it doesn't, it doesn't make me flabbergasted, or it doesn't necessarily bother me, don't affect me, because I already know. One of those things where you're dealing with a chick and you just, you're dealing with just for some food, some pizza. if you understand what I'm saying. And it's a mutual thing. Okay, we get it. But at the same time, when you're dealing with a woman and she has these ideals that's not necessarily based in reality, but she's still looking for love, that's kind of like confusion. And in this instance where, you would think that a person is in love with you think that everything is going to go right, but she's just in it for something that she can get from you. So that's why it's important for us to take our time with these females. It's important for us to get right with the Heavenly Father, you know. And I'm just speaking like this because of my experiences and what I'm dealing with certain females that I need to just fall back from and focus on, strengthening my relationship with the Heavenly Father, because there's so much traps out here. We already know it tells you in the scriptures there's no wickedness like the wickedness of a woman. Snares and nests, they're meant to entrap you. You put yourself in a situation where you impregnate a woman and this is what she requires. Just talking about the first half of the video, you got to ask yourself, like, why am I even dealing with this woman? Why did I impregnate or inseminate this woman? You inseminate that woman and now you feeling like shit because you have a child by this woman and you know that this woman is not wifey material. She's not even mom material because of what she adheres to based off of the Luciferian aspect of this society. Just going back to the first half of the video, you even see how she looks. You could tell that she's one of those secular, modern women. Like she looks like a secular liberal female. So that's the problem that we live in today where, these ideals, they're going to become more prominent in society. You're going to see a lot of unconventional things. You're just going to see a lot of unconventional shit based off of how left this world is going. So when you see something like that, it just tells you where we headed. Where you have these females who just look at a man as an object and not a human being, and this is how he should be, and this is what you want from him because you want a child. That's how people say, oh, the woman is God, this, that. If the woman was God, she'd be able to create a child on her own. She cannot do that. She needs a man. And people need to stop saying shit like, oh, we all come from a woman. No, we don't. We come from a man. The man seed is where it starts. We are all seeds of men. We are all seeds that come from the loins of a man. We all come from a man's nuts. And we travel from his nuts into the woman. She gestates us and we come out of her, but we all start from the nuts of the man. And I just want to say that because it's important for us to put things in proper perspective. Don't go too far with that worship shit because you're so enamored by the aspect of birth giving that you forget that semen came from a man's nuts. It came from the nuts first. So it starts with the man. But thank y'all and peace.